At 50, the tragedy of Angelina Jolie is beyond heartbreaking, not because she has disappeared from the spotlight or suffered some sudden downfall, but because behind the elegant smile, award-winning roles, and humanitarian accolades lies a life marked by silent suffering, unimaginable loss, and the unrelenting weight of being misunderstood by the very world that once idolized her. As the woman once hailed as the most beautiful and magnetic figure in Hollywood now lives a quieter, more fragile existence, having endured decades of emotional turmoil, physical sacrifice, and profound loneliness that fame could never cure. And while fans still see glimpses of her on red carpets or in diplomatic circles, what they don't see is the pain she carries behind from losing her beloved mother, Marcolini Bertrand, to cancer, pain from enduring a difficult, widely publicized divorce from Brad Pitt, and pain from constantly having to defend her identity, her motherhood, her intentions, and her right to exist on her own terms. And though she once embraced the image of the fearless femme fatale, covered in tattoos and radiating wild energy, today she is softer, thinner, and more withdrawn. Her once fiery public presence now replaced by a somber, reserved woman who seems to carry the weight of the world on her narrow shoulders. And what many don't understand is that Angelina has long been at war with herself, grappling with childhood abandonment, self-harm, and deep emotional instability that she tried to mask through roles, humanitarian work, and the intense devotion to her 6 children, whom she calls her reason for living. Yet even they have not shielded her from the crushing solitude of her reality. For since her split from Brad Pitt, Angelina has remained largely isolated, fiercely protective of her children while quietly battling the wounds left behind from their fractured family. And insiders say she has grown increasingly reclusive, spending more time at home, often alone, and avoiding the spotlight that once fueled her, not because she no longer cares, but because the constant judgment and scrutiny have left her weary, her body visibly affected by the years of stress, surgeries, and psychological battles, including the preventive double mastectomy and oophorectomy she underwent after discovering her BRCA1 gene mutation, decisions that saved her life but also stripped away pieces of her femininity, intimacy, and personal peace. And though she remains a fierce advocate for refugees and displaced people around the world, often traveling to war-torn regions, those close to her say she is deeply haunted by the suffering she witnesses, carrying it back with her like invisible scars that further compound her own grief. And now, as she stands at the threshold of 50, a milestone many feared she might never reach during her darkest years, Angelina Jolie is a portrait of resilience, wrapped in heartbreak, a woman who has given so much to the world yet feels more alone than ever, a woman who has inspired millions yet struggles to find comfort herself. And the tragedy isn't in her fading fame or physical transformation, but in the aching truth that the girl who once wanted to save the world has been quietly crushed by it, leaving behind not a fallen star, but a weary soul still searching for the peace that has always seemed just out of reach.